Okay, so what are we up to? We are going to show you how to do a special report, a report that has the total, um, all the other categories, the miscellaneous categories in a separate variable. So I'm going to see if I can do that for you off the seat of my pants. I was having some trouble with the keyboard earlier, so hopefully we'll got that fixed up now. Cool. We go into create a new query design and close that. We drag in the DS1 table. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the top 25 diagnoses in DS1. We're going to grab diagnosis and join that up to tdiag1, stick ASCII desc down there, and we're going to rename that because that is a good thing to do. And we're going to call it diag underscore desk. Let's see. I'm going to put a colon there. Great. And so now when we turn the totals button on, we drag the diag one down there again and count that one. We can sort it in descending order and pull out the top 25. So these are the top 25 procedures in the whole database. The codes, they're mostly K codes, and the amount for each one of them. I think they're all codes, K codes in that database. Anyways, we're going to save that. We're going to call it. What are we going to call that? We're going to call that top 25. 25. Now we have to make another query on top of that. So create a query design, cancel that, grab the top 25 query in there, and then we want to join that back into the DS1 table because we want all these people that had that DS1. So now we've filtered out the DS1 table again by the we might as well take all those variables because we spent all that work counting them. We might as well use them. And now we're going to look at the top operation for that one. Toper 1. Why not? Let's make it so they have an operation is not null. Probably should have put that in the previous one as well, but we were joining and it was a bit tricky. So I'll save that. And we'll call this one top 25 ops. So these are the operations for the top 25 diag. Actually, it's actually ops for, oh, I did that thing again. I pressed the control button. Anyways, don't press the control button. So we've got the ops for the top 25 diag. We are we're going to count them as well. We want to count them, so we want to drag TOP1. Let's drag TOP1 down there again. We'll make that a count as well. That'll look kind of nice, and we're going to have that in descending order too. Although we can't filter it here. This is just all of the operations, and do we have the? We haven't done the totals yet. This one's going to have to be a group by, or accounts, right? And everything else is a group by. Cool. So then we run that, and it shows us the most extensive diag description operation combination. So we should actually go back in and get the procedure for those Toper ones as well. Oops. Remove table. We want the procedure for that Toper one. We're going to grab the ASCII desc down there, and that's the procedure description. Probably. So on bladder hernia, repair of hernia, gallbladder cholecystectomy, something like that. So that's the thing. So now we want to get rid of. So this loads up in that order, but we can't just top up the 25 because we're going to have a few of each one. We want a substantial amount for each one. So let's say let's get rid of all these little ones, less than. Greater than 2, that's what we want. Let's not do 1s or 2s, but have everything above 3 and up. Let's say, yeah, that's a substantial amount of data. Everything that's got more than, let's say more than 5. So I go back into the design view and I say, so I'm going to save this, file save, and I'm going to create another query on top of this because we want to pull out the other ones. So we're actually going to need two queries. We're going to have a query that has the others, and then we're going to have a query that doesn't have the others. So again, go into the create query view, query design, and we're going to grab the top 25 DAG ops, that's the operations, and we want the ones that are, we want the, we'll take everything actually. And we want the ones that are greater than 25, so the count of TDAG op greater than 10 maybe? Yeah, what do we say? Greater than, yeah, let's say greater than 10. Cool. And so these are all the individuals that are greater than 10. And we run that, and it's each one of these lines is those are the ones. So these are the ones we want, the ones greater than 10. And then we want to add up all the ones that are 10 and under so we can add them back in. So we want to add them up at the level of TDAG1. We want the total for that level. So this one we're going to save again, and it's going to be top 25 DAGs ops greater than 10. And we're going to close that. We'll close all those, in fact. This is a bit tricky, so we want to copy that. We want to paste it, so we want to just have the same query twice, and this one's going to be less than or equal to 10 is the ones we want. And we better go and design it so it does that. Design view, and this one's going to be less than or equal to 10. Great. Now this one is at the same level of detail, 758 records. We actually just want one record for each of the TDAG ones. So let's go back into the design. We're going to keep the, oh no, we don't want the design. We want to close that. Yes, we want to go, we want to make a new query. Actually, no, we can do that in the design of that one. Go into design of that, and instead of having the detail there for the procedure, we want to get rid of it entirely. We want the count, but we don't want to group by it. So we use this where clause to say, oh, I actually just want a few of them. And so where the count is like that, we want to group by. And no, actually, what we do is we want to sum them where it's less than that. And so we get some total sum of that. We're going to call it, we'll call it total. No, this is not going to work. Okay, well, let's see what happens with that. We're going to add them up. We don't care about Toper 1. Delete columns. We don't care about. So that's that will give us the total, and we want a column called other. Other colon, and that's just the name of it. It's going to be the category. No, we want the value to be other. Is that how you do it? No. Sum. Oh, it's looking for the sum greater than 10. So we do have to do another level of thing. We've got to say where is less than 10. And so this is we've just created a record for each of the other categories, and it's the total otherwise, the ones that are less than 10. So let's go into the design and say, it's not the total yet, it's just the where. Is it where? This is tricky. So it is the count. It's the count. So it's grouped them all together, but it actually doesn't have a value yet. We haven't created a value yet. So we actually do want to pull these. We want to pull those out. That's what we want to do. We don't care about this one. That'll be just the same as everything else because it's grouped. All these things, 3 things are grouped together. That's okay. And we want this thing that says other. So great. So now we've got the detail out of the total row. Oh, we can't. We have to say group by because we want the individual ones. So actually, we just want to select out the individual ones, and then we will add them up later. Great. So it doesn't matter what the description is. Toper1 and ASCII desk. So yeah, that's not quite sure. Anyways, I'm going to stop for a bit. Okay, we're back. So what were we doing yesterday? We created a query that had the top 25 diagnosis with operations having less than 10 instances. That's this one here. Sorry, greater than 10. This one. All these ones are greater than 10. Then we have the top 25 ops with less than 10 instances, and that's here. This is the detail is here. So now we need to combine these ones into a summary so we can have just one record for that one for each of those. So we create a new query. Create a new query design, close that, drag that one in. We want the less than 10 query. We want tdiag1, we want diagdesk. We want to group by those things, and we want the sum of we can actually group by that too, but we want the sum of the count. So we want to add all those up. And if we run that, we should end up with just 25 records because that's the total number of other all the small ones, less than 10 for each of the 25 top diagnoses. tdiag1. So we go back into the design of that, and the other thing we need is we need to call that something. We're going to have to join it up. We're going to join it to this one. So we need these same columns in there. We need tdiag1, diagdesk, count of tdiag1. We've got that one already. Then we need these. We need to make up these 3 columns. So this one's called count of Toper1. It's probably a better way to do that, but we're going to close that. Yes, save changes. Yeah, we want to close that, and this one we want. Okay, so this now we run that. It's gonna. That's a sort of weird thing that happens when I lose my keyboard. Anyways, we're going to. What the? Oh, my goodness. Count of Toper1. So because we want it, even though we're summing it, we still want it to say count of Toper1. There we go. Great. So now the other 2 things we need to go back into the one that has greater than 10. We need these other 2 columns. We need the Toper1 column and the ASCII desk column. So we're going to make a Toper1 column colon, and we'll just call that unknown, and ASCII. I call that unknown as well, or other. Great. So now when I run that, you'll see that there's these, unknown isn't such a, let's call it other. Great. So now we've got these 25. We've got an other value for each of those ones, and we can save that as the top 25 diags. Ops less than 10 summary. Great. So that's the other one. So now we're going to combine the summary and the greater than 10. So we create a new query again, and drag in the greater than 10, a union query. You have to do it in SQL, the union query. Select star from, so I'm just trying to get the names of those things. Oh, great. Now it's changed the name of it. Rename. No, I'm just not going to do it. Okay, well, we've got the name copied in. And so we're going to go into the query. Paste that in there. Put it in square brackets first. Paste it in there. Union. And then everything from the other one, which is the summary. Rename. Copy. Paste. Great. Now I should be able to run those two queries together. I just select star from there. Great. So now we've got the K20s together. There's it's ordered to put it in the wrong order. They expect it to be in a certain order. Insane. Great. So let's go to the tdiag1, the summary, and go with the design of that. We want it to be in. We also want the greater than 10, the design of that. So that has tdiag1 diag_desc count, tdiag1 diag_desc count, toper1 count of toper1, toper1 count of toper1, ASCII desc. Let's see. Toper1 count of toper1, ASCII desc. Delete that. Save that. Let's see if that's working now. Great, great. So we've got the K20s together here. There's two of those are from the greater than 10 table, and one of those is from the summary table. They're union together. They're combined together in one thing. Similarly, gee, there's a lot of others. So definitely, diagnoses are widely spread out. 71,000. That doesn't seem right. It seems like the number is way too big. Yeah, it is way too big because there is the total. I think I'm adding up the wrong column in the summary. So count of T-1. Oh yeah, I should be counting the Toper one. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to run that query again. And there we have 44 in the other category. That's much better. It lines up. 110 in the other category for those ones. That should do. Good. So the result is 4, just in summary, the result in 4 queries. You've got the top 10, 25 diag ops, which is 886 records, summary records, which is the top 25 plus with a count of each one, and then actually we start off with just the top 25 diags. Still the top 25. That's the one. We start off with the top 25 diags. That's just the top 25 diags in total. Then we join in the top 25 diag ops, which is the operations for those top 25 diags. Then we pull off the ones that are greater than 10, and which is a smaller number, 128 records instead of the original 886. So we get rid of a lot of small number records. Then we pull off the ones that are less than 10. That's the 758 ones that are less than 10. And then finally we summarize them. We end up with 25 records. That is the summary, the total number for each of those, the sum total for the other category. And we create an other category for each one of those. And the final thing we do is we join those all together. We join up the original ones, the ones that are greater than 10, and then the other category, which is less than 10. Now, this is completely painful, and there's much better products to do this, and I'll show you that next semester.